Appreciate this, Jacoby. Last night when I was watching this game, you know what I decided? I decided that I love basketball. Like, serious. Like, I love basketball. Our OG director, Tommy, said it. This was like old school ABA. And you know, I took a lot of heat like 10 years ago as the bitter veteran that played for Mike D'Antoni when I came out in like 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was like I never heard the man say the word defense. I took a lot of heat for that. People thought that I was just bitter and hating because I got DNPs. I was telling the truth. You know how I approach this. And while the Nets are amazing to watch offensively, and they were playing without James Harden, and Kyrie's taking his liberties offensively and being aggressive, be a terrific scorer, and so is KD. When you don't have bulk up front and you can't contain the dribble, the point guard and the center are the pillars of your defense and your offense. If you can't contain Colin Sexton's dribble, if you can't contain Russell Westbrook's dribble, I don't care how talented you are. The other team is always confident when they're scoring. How many times you been playing basketball, Jacoby? As soon as somebody make a shot, they look at their teammates like, let's go, let's go. It's because when they score, you feel better about yourself. And you could be playing against Washington. You could be playing against anybody. As long as the other team getting buckets, they're going to be in the game. And so that's something that I know for a fact. 3, 2, 1. As these cords are on my feet and I'm barefoot right now on the show.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Let me tell you something.
Put those away. Put those away.
I love basketball. Hey, look, I love basketball. So it reminded me that I want to play. I want to play some basketball, dog. I'm getting ready. I'm coming back, dog.
Why don't you have socks on? Why don't you have socks on? What is happening? There's a blizzard outside.
I took them off.
What is happening?
I took them off.
Whatever you do, put your shoes back on.
I'm coming back.
Put your shoes back on.
I'm gonna come back. And what it showed me, that you ready for this? I could play for the Nets. I was like, I could play for the Nets. You saw Joe Harris at the end of the game with that inbounds pass? I could have did that.
Yes, you could have done that.
Been me.
Everything else that Joe Harris did yesterday, you could not do. But you could have done that.
Oh, like that, Reg?
I love the fact that you just took your feet out on national television and you said that you could play for the Nets. You could play defense for the Nets. I'll tell you that. You can play defense for the Nets because I've seen you play, okay? Not exactly a stopper. Jalen, someone who is playing in the NBA very well, someone I used to affectionately call the stretch mark 5. I can do that no longer because Nikola Jokic has slimmed down and he gave the Jazz some buckets. 47 points, only missed 9 field goals all game long, 12 rebounds, and ended an 11-game win streak for the Jazz. Jalen, can we just celebrate my man Nikola Jokic? Can we just celebrate him, please?
Let's do that. And let me tell you what made me feel a little emotional yesterday.
What happened?
When my guy, the Joker, was balling, I looked down at my phone. I had so many people that were calling to give me a shout because my guy was doing work. They're like, I know you see your guy. Like, Jacoby, I've said this to you. It shouldn't be fair to have a crush on a player that I cover. That's what I have with the Joker. The thing is, it's all skill and intellect and real estate. When you play Monopoly, you want Boardwalk and Park Place and you want to put all of the hotels on it. That man right there, that's Mediterranean. That's Baltic. You don't even see him coming. And every time you go around, you got to pay the Joker. Look at him. Look at him, Jacoby. That's Rudy Gobert. That's the defensive player of the year, one-on-one on the post. Runners, floaters, threes, dimes, playing them one-on-one. It don't matter. I'm going to tell you guys this. The Joker is a lot closer to winning MVP this season than people realize. So I'm going to just say that into a microphone. As the season continues to progress and you realize, like, wait a minute, he ranks where in points, where in rebounds, where in assists, where in steals, and the Nuggets record is what? Remember what I told you. At the end of the year, people going to want to say LeBron. They're going to want to say KD. We're going to want to give it up to Luka. But it's like, man, the Joker is that business. So it was great to see my guy put in work.
Well, you know LeBron wants that MVP trophy, and he is no longer the number one team in the Western Conference. And he saw those numbers from Jokic. He was like, oh, man. He's like, oh, man. He's like, oh, man. I'm going to have to put up 40 again. It is time for some very important news that matters. Jalen, you know TMZ is always journalistically perfect. And they put out these pictures because they tried to see if they were photoshopped. They tried to see if they were doctored, and they are not. That right there is California. That is an unidentified flying object. That's not a plane, Jalen. That's not a blimp. That is a UFO driven by aliens. You can't deny it this time. You've been denying it for 10 years. Is that a UFO or not?
I don't believe that's a UFO,
what is it then?
Jacoby.
What is it then?
You remember, maybe that's a Mork from Ork. Nanu.
Every time that you bring that up, every time we talk about aliens, all you do is you just bring up Mort and say Nanu. That's all you do. Bring your feet out again. Take your feet out again. Show the people the corns. Show the people the corns.
Hey, you want to play basketball? This is hazards of the job. Hazards of the job. I got corns on all 10 toes. I'm 10 toes down. I'm 10 corns down.
When we come back, Jalen, I mentioned it before, the Los Angeles Clippers have the best record in the Western Conference. We'll show you how they got there. Right after this, you are watching Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, please put your socks and shoes on. Please put Jalen, last year, when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard teamed up with the Clippers, you jumped right on the bandwagon. You said they were going to win the championship, and they flamed out in the bubble. Now no one's talking about them anymore. Jalen, are people just disregarding the Clippers because they flamed out in the bubble last year?
The great American philosopher David Jacoby taught me to keep expectations down. And when you put together Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the expectations were so high, people like me spraining their ankles, jumping on and off the bandwagon. Now they get a chance to fly under the radar with the Lakers and the Nets making moves. Giannis re-signing with the Bucks. The Sixers and Embiid balling. The Celtics, Tatum and Brown. They get to fly under the radar. But the expectations have not changed. Let's see if Kawhi Leonard has what it takes to still lead his Clippers in the Western Conference.
Jalen, you know I'm a die-easy Knicks fan. I love Emmanuel Quickley so much. I love Emmanuel Quickley so much. He's fast. He's under control. He's a bucket. And that floater, he is money with the floater. He is Tony Parker with the floater. He shoots so well from that floater and the three. Just want to give him a big shout. Emmanuel Quickley, giving Knicks fans something to look forward to. It's been about a decade. Moving on. Oh, ho-hum. Just another game winner from Dame Lillard. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
We'll hit the brakes on this one. The latest to feel the wrath of Dame time are the Chicago Bulls. Jalen, he just seems to have a knack for this kind of stuff. He just seems to have a knack for when the game is on the line, at the end, he does that. What do you think of Dame?
What I think of Dame is if I have a final shot of a game and I look at my huddle and I see Steph Curry and Dame Lillard, I'm really trying to figure who I'm calling the play for. That's how much I trust Dame in those situations. And they were down 5 in this game. And I know we're showing the 3 that won the game, but we're not showing the walk-up that he pulled up on the left side and he shot it from Highland Park, Illinois to cut the lead. And so this really impressive by Dame. And big shout to Method Man as we do the Keep It Moving segment.